Queen, Queen of Trade. Queen.
Hi guys, today I'm making shea butter soap, cold soap it is, and as you can see I have my protective wear on. I'm going to start mixing my lye. You always pour the lye into the water, never the opposite way, because it is a chemical. I bought this from Essential Depot. It's a good idea to buy from an online supplier just to be sure that you know that you're getting what you're supposed to for what you need. And I'm just mixing it together. I use cold water. I use a tall spoon and a tall container just to be sure that I am not splashing it out anywhere. So this is where we at. And if you're interested, keep watching. Um, yeah, keep watching. Guys, as you can see, you need to have on your protective wear, your goggles, your shirt, your glasses. That's a spoon. That's a mixing bowl with olive oil and coconut oil in it. You need to go to SoapCal, which is a calculator that helps you calculate the measurements for your oils and butters and everything. You're gonna just take that and toss it in the microwave for a couple of seconds. You don't want to like burn it, so you want to keep an eye on it. You just want to melt it down. It just helps, it makes it easier for mixing. As you can see, that's my lye. The lye was in a ice bath, and I also use cold water because once you mix lye into the water, it heats up. The temperature will rise. So you want to make sure that you have a soap bath to bring that down, because you want to have a certain degrees before you start to mix the oils and the shea, I mean the oils and the lye together. So you want to make sure that you have your lye and your oils between 1 and 110. You want to make sure both of them are at the same temperature. So sometimes, you may have to, that may hold up your process, just so you can be sure that you're calculating that, making that calculation correct, and that they are at the same temperature. As you can see, I'm just going in there checking it, making sure it's cool. It always goes up really high because, like I said, once you mix it in, it gets very hot. So if you put just some ice in the sink, set it inside the ice bath and give it time to cool while you're doing other things. Also, you want to go to soapcal.com, and when you go to soapcal.com, is a calculator that comes up. It gives you a list of ingredients. You can kind of go through and use the ingredients of your choice, and you can type, put in numbers, and when you put the numbers, you have to kind of play around with it, for the calculations, and it'll tell you how much soap to not how much soap, how much ingredients to lye, because it's very important that you know the amount of lye you're putting into it. Otherwise, you will not get it. And it also will tell you how good, how hard it gets, and all that. Again, go to SoapCal, research all of this stuff before you even attempt to even do soap. This is something that you want to be educated on prior to doing it. Also, it'd be wise to just go to YouTube. There's tons of videos. Thanks for watching mine. But there's tons of videos out here. So go research first, do some videos, read up on soap, and pick the kind of soap of your choice, and fun soaping. I love it. It's fun. Once you get your um, fear away from it, don't be too fearful of it, because again, lye, if you ever put a perm in your hair, pretty much that's what you're working with, the chemical. It's just that it's a straight chemical instead of and mixture, but it does the same effect. It will burn your skin, so you have to be careful with it. And again, you want to go to an online supplier and get it, and don't try to be funding around in the store if you're not familiar with lye and what it actually is. It's better if you just go to an online supplier that tells you exactly that it's for soap. Sometimes it'll say food grade, just so you know what you're doing, and it takes no time. Home Essential Depot is very good and quick with getting it out to you. And once the lye is set, the temperature is perfect, mix them together, and then we'll be moving on to our next step. Okay, guys, this is when you use the hand mixer. You begin mixing very slow. You don't want to splash. Just continue to mix until you get to trace. See you in the next step. As you can see here, this is starting to get to trace. And trace just means when you can put the mixer in the bowl and see a trace of the print of the mixer. That's all trace means. That means that your solution is mixed to where it needs to be. And now it's time to take that out and begin to get your shea butter mix. You want to go ahead and get that mixed in, put into your bowl so you can heat it up, because now we're on our next phase of the process. Once you do that, you want to just take and get that shea butter in there, get it into the microwave again, heat it up so you can begin mixing. Once that's melted down, now you're ready to get it poured into your trace mix and begin to mix this final mixing step together. As you can see, it's very easy. It's not hard at all. And pretty much this is what it is. You're just pouring your shea butter into your coconut oil and your olive oil for your final mix. Once you do that, you just begin mixing. You want to get the mixer and you want to mix it a little bit more just to make sure it's all evenly blended. And pretty much that's it. Once that's done, then you want to move on and do one more final mix just to be sure. But then you want to also decide what mold you would like to use. As you can see, this was my second batch. So I have some square shaped molds, which I got these molds right from a local thrift store, as well as a hand mixer. The hand mixer was only $6 and a couple dollars for these molds. So as you can see, I made a good amount of soap here. And basically, once you do that and you get in there, you want to just shake it down like you would do any baking thing. You want to clean up all your supplies. Yes, once you clean up your supplies, you're pretty much done. Wait 24 hours for it to set, and then you can start to cut it. But I'll get more into that in a minute. As you can see, here is how they look after 24 hours once they come out of the mold. This is my different types of molds that I found. I told you again, I got them right from a Goodwill, very cheap, $2-3 a piece. Um, and again, these are a different size. I pretty much cut them in half. I let them cure for 4 to 5 weeks, meaning they set out in a dry place, cool dry place, where they cure. Which makes the soap gets hard. As you can see, the soap lathers very good at about 22%. Which is a good lather for me. As you can see here, very soapy. Again, here's the soap. I pretty much let it sit out like that for a while. This is also how it looked when they were in the molds before the 24-hour period. For whatever reason, some of them came out a little bit softer, so I'm just going to continue to let them cure. But we are currently using this soap now. It's working good. I love it. Again, this is just make sure that you label all your stuff soap so nobody's using this stuff by mistake. I have children, so I keep this out of the reach of kids. This is just another picture of all the ingredients up close so you can see. Again, not expensive products. That's the regular shea butter that you can get from your normal beauty supply store or wherever you get shea butter. And again, this is soap cow. This is what I was saying before. This is something that you really want to dive into. As you can see, it shows you here, what live percentage to pounds or ounces, however you do it. It also tells you, the hardness, the cleanliness, the condition, bubbly, creamy, and it breaks it down all for you. It's pretty much self-explanatory, but if you still aren't sure, you can just go on YouTube and you'll be able to find it more in detail. Bye, guys.